Alright, so we are back with the second half of our loot route here. We're going to do it pretty quickly. We got 14 minutes left. North Fence Passage is going to be our extract. It should only take us about 10 to 12 minutes to knock out tops anyway, so this will be perfect. Kind of an awkward starting position, but we'll make it work. The key point is the stashes that we're going to hit and kind of understanding the location of where those are. So obviously we started over by the construction site. If you're familiar with the shoreline, you know where the construction site is. Site is in relation to most everything else, right? So cutting in towards the back side of the map, the sunken house right here. This is where we're going to start this leg, or this half of the loot route. Now, in the last video, I mentioned, hey, this is the second half of the loot route, it's making this the first half. Obviously, whatever half you start on, whatever side you start on, you know, will determine which half is which, right? I don't make the game, I don't make the rules, so we're just gonna let the game determine for us. So, sweet. Off to a great start. And obviously you can find anything from, obviously, weapons to armor, backpacks, ammo, food, drink, high tier loot, right? Like the chainlit, air quotes, big old air quotes, high tier loot, medical stuff, some schmeckles, and another weapon. Here we go. Okay, cool. So next one, the key indicator for that one is the Eastern Orthodox Church cross right there. Then we're going to cut over towards the train. Again, if you're familiar with shoreline in any sort of fashion, you're aware that there's a train sitting over here in the corner. There's two stashes real close to the train right there. We're going to hit them both. Forgive the noise in the background. Kids don't understand when you say, hey, I'm recording something. It's okay. But yeah, like I mentioned in the last video, this loot route can net you anywhere from 200 to 500,000 rubles a run. I particularly enjoy doing this on SCAVs because it is very low risk and very high reward. There's only been a handful of times since I've started playing Tarkov that I've gotten killed by somebody, be it a player or a player SCAV, running this loot route, so it's not really anything that needs to be worried about. Get rid of that. We're gonna put that on because spooky mode. Oh my god. Okay, so the first one, it's kind of hidden in the high grass right here. Cutting across down to the water. There's a canister stash underneath this fallen down tree right here. Cricket. Now this one's a little more, you got to kind of pay attention where we're going sort of thing. So we're going to keep the water right here at our right side. Follow the map all the way damn near to Road to Customs extract. There's a little wood stash or hatch stash in a bush over there. And this is historically, if you start as a PMC, obviously you don't really start in random spots like we did as a SCAV. This stash right here is usually where I start the loot route. If I start on this side of the map, I'll always come to this one first. And run it in a little bit of a different route, but hitting the exact same stashes. Big money, no whammy. We're leaving the bandage. PPSH. So if you ever had some poor SCAV karma, I'll run to keep the rocks right out here on my left, right immediately to the left. We're going to follow this up. Probably guide a little further right here. Split the pink trees. We're aiming for a group of bushes over here. this group of bushes right here. This stash right in the middle. It's another wood stash or hatch stash, however you call it. Some fleece. Okay. We leave immediately. We're pushing towards the radio tower. Canister stash up here. This one I've found. I don't know if it's just this one specifically or if it's the canister stash in general, but I've found slicks and vectors and GPUs, 5.7s in this particular stash more often than any of the other stashes on the map. And it's empty that time, so call me a liar. We're leaving that stash. We're going to push down the side of the mountain. Directly in front of us, right there, is a group of bushes. Inside that group of bushes, yep, you guessed it, another hatch stash. Gotta be careful crossing right here because PMCs will be running from right to, or excuse me, left to right over to road to customs extract. And they see poor little scav running up to this stash. You're an easy target. Oh, what do we got? Oh, Jesus. Oh. Huh. See what I'm talking about? Okay, we're going to kind of W ourselves back here. Run to this direction. This is called, or what me and my buddies call it, this is Two Tree Hill. There's a stash in between the two trees. It is another hatch stash. This one's a little more exposed, so getting low, being quick. We did hear some gunshots in the distance, but shouldn't be a big deal. Empty. That's a bummer. Now we got two options here that we can go. That power stanchion or power tower, the base, there is a canister stash, or we can keep the wall at our right and head over to North Fence Passage towards the what I call the mountain stash. So we'll hit both. Again, we're doing this in a live server, so risky play? Question mark? I guess we'll find out. It'll be a big bummer if we can't get out with this TV-110, because that's a huge find. So, near corner, inside the burnt up, or dried up bushes right here, another canister stash. Weapons parts. Hey, rubles are rubles, man. There's not going to be a LED-X or a GPU in every stash, so we'll take what we can get. We're pretty much gonna, we can see the wall over there. We're gonna kind of guide it towards the wall. We can go up this hill right here. There is a busted down building with a couple military crates in it that we can check out, which we'll do, because why not? Worst case scenario, we're no better than when we got into the raid, right? As we're coming up, we're going to keep an eye on the rocks over there, because obviously that's the resort. That's the prime spot on the map. Okay, we got a crate and a crate. Check them both for some goodies. Stock, mag, MP7. This is the weapon game, I guess. God dang. I've never found this many guns before. That's another one. NVGs, big win. What can we do here? We'll move this around. Perfect. Out, we're going to come around, take a left. Go out the back. And you'd think we'd head over there to North Fence, but no, there's one more stash we want to hit. Careful not to break our legs, because it'll ruin the whole day. So this large group of trees right here, past the power lines, the very far left of the large group of trees in between two bushes, is the last stash that we're going to hit for this side. We'll call it this side of the loot route. This one is very exposed. So be careful. And it's empty. So no big deal. Now we come back. We'll use the trees as some concealment and some cover. Those are two different things. And then we're just going to hit north fence, the old south fence, which is now north fence. Which is just hilarious. Yeah, here we are, tucked up underneath this nice little pine tree right here. We've got our extract. So that's the second half of the loot route. Put it all together and you get one giant ass loot route that pays off pretty well. Ba-boom.